You worked for years to get the thing you wanted. The promotion, the relationship, the number on the scale, whatever it was. And then you got it. And for a moment, maybe a day, maybe a week, it felt exactly as good as you imagined. And then a strange, hollow feeling crept in, and you had no idea why. To understand why achievement leaves us hollow, we first have to understand how the human brain was built. Not for happiness, but for the hunt. For roughly 300,000 years, humans lived as hunter-gatherers. Every day was a problem to solve. Find food, find water, find shelter, survive. The brain that survived was not the calm brain. It was the restless one. The brain that was never quite satisfied, always scanning for the next threat, the next meal, the next edge. Scientists call this the negativity bias. Your brain is hardwired to notice problems more than pleasures. That bias kept your ancestors alive. It does not care whether it makes you happy. Now enter dopamine, the molecule that drives almost everything you do. Most people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical, the reward you feel when you get something good. But neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz discovered something startling in 1997. He was studying monkeys who received juice rewards when they pressed a button. At first, dopamine spiked when the monkey got the juice. But after repeated trials, the spike shifted. It moved to the moment just before the reward. Dopamine was not the reward signal. It was the anticipation signal. Your brain floods with dopamine not when you win, but when you are about to try. The chase is the chemical, not the catch. And when the chase ends, the brain doesn't celebrate. It recalibrates. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation, the process by which your brain treats every new normal as just normal. The mansion that thrilled you becomes the house you live in. The relationship that felt electric becomes the relationship you are used to. Psychologist Philip Brickman first studied this in 1978, and what he found was almost cruel. He compared lottery winners to paraplegics 1 year after each life-changing event. 1 year later, their reported happiness levels were nearly identical. The brain is not keeping score of how much you have. It is always resetting to a new zero. This is the hedonic treadmill. You run faster, but you never actually move forward. But here is where the story gets interesting, because the emptiness is not a bug. The emptiness is a feature. It is the engine that kept your ancestors moving. A satisfied ancestor was a dead ancestor. Satisfaction is a signal to stop, and stopping was dangerous. So your brain evolved to make every arrival feel temporary, so you would always keep going. The problem is, you are no longer living in a world that requires constant survival, but you still have the ancient brain, running ancient software in a modern world. And modern life has done something extraordinary. It has weaponized this against you. Social media platforms are built to live inside the gap between wanting and having. The scroll, the like, the notification, each one a tiny hit of anticipation, never quite a payoff. The advertising industry understood this even earlier. Since the 1920s, ads have sold the feeling of wanting, not the feeling of having. Edward Bernays, Freud's nephew, pioneered using psychological desire to sell things people didn't need. He told companies, don't sell the product, sell the gap between who they are and who they could be. And so we built an entire civilization on feeding, but never quite satisfying, the wanting brain. The result is a population that is more comfortable than any humans in history, and more chronically dissatisfied. We are the most distracted generation in history. And distraction is just want with nowhere to go. So what do you do with this? You can't remove the wanting brain, but you can stop mistaking the chase for the destination. Research by psychologist Sonia Lyubomirsky shows that roughly 50% of your happiness baseline is genetic, but 40% is genuinely in your control. That 40% is not found in getting more. It is found in meaning, connection, and learning to want what you already have. So here is the real question. Would you rather spend your life chasing the next thing and feeling alive in the pursuit, or learn to feel full where you are and risk the quiet? If this made you think, drop a comment below and subscribe for more videos like this.